All right, good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Zoom. I'm in the dark when I'm this close to the computer, but when I'm further back, you'll be able to see me. And good morning, Susan and Jennifer. All right, got the AirPods in. So hopefully hearing will be better than last week. I've got the computer connected to YouTube, up on Ethernet. So much technology. Let me just check my system. Preferences. Oh, and a map for me, That's important. Okay, just check here. Didn't realize I had enabled waiting room, but I did. But it's kind of fun to be like, oh yes, I will let you in. Sort of like the power. Hey, Cliff has just joined us. Okay. We've got Emily on the YouTube live. we we missed him too. Aw. Oh yes. Sweet boy. Yeah. He's got such big eyes. Okay. Okay, let me make sure I'm in a range here that yep. I think I'm pretty seeable here. Cool. All right. Just give it another moment for anyone else to as we check in, make sure I haven't abandoned anybody in the waiting room. I didn't realize I had set that, so oh, technology. How do I look? Okay, good. Maybe a little small to my Zoomers, but I think we'll be okay. We'll make it work. Yeah, maybe if I just go to meeting settings, I can do that now. I mean, I like letting people in. Once we get started, I don't want people to be stuck. Okay. All right. I know there's a hair tie somewhere to tie this quarantine hair back. I'm not used to it being this long. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Getting there, getting there. Okay, it's about that time. Let me switch over to my, yeah, that's what I want. Gallery view. All right, so playlist today. That link should have taken you to something called March Long Morning Flow. And if not, it probably took you to some other playlists that'll work just as well. Yes. Yes, thank you, Susan. Can you hear me? You guys can hear me good? Okay, cool. So I can only connect these AirPods. I did not realize that these were both like earphones and microphones. I can only connect them to one thing, and it seemed last week like it was more important for them to be connected to my phone on Zoom than YouTube. It seemed like that was maybe where there was the most issue. So trying that out, but I'll also just try and, project as well. Okay. All right, give it another moment, see if anyone else is popping in. I have my playlist queued, so I'll just be playing it softly for myself, and then, if you are playing along with that, you can have it however high or not you want. Yes. And I will tell you guys to do that in about 30 seconds. I think I also have the power to mute and unmute you guys as well. So I might just also use that power. It's kind of how it's unfolding. Yeah, I'd say that is less plan and more my bumbling. But yeah, I would say if you have something like right up to 9 or something like that, or even later. If you want to, feel free to just pop in. Does that answer your question? I mean, also, okay, yeah, I would say feel free to pop in. And if it seems like we're at a place that's not feeling like a good way for you to join in, you can always, pop back out. All right, so let's come to a comfortable seated position. And I'm gonna use my host power to mute everybody until the end. Oh, and Anna's here. Hi, Anna. Hey. All right, and it's totally up to you guys if you want to have your video on or not. I'd love to see you, but if you feel more comfortable not, that's totally fine. Anna, I love you. I'm just going to mute you. Anna is a long time circus friend from the Bay Area from way back when I was, before I even started teaching yoga. I was mostly teaching circus type stuff. And one of those places I did that was the athletic playground in Emeryville. And that's where I know Anna from. At least I think so. Shoot, I've muted her now, so but I'm pretty sure that was it. So in a way, it's cool that doing this online thing, I mean, also like a friend of mine in New Mexico that I used to do duo trapeze with has joined, and friends over on the East Coast. So yeah, that's been kind of magical. So I have to remind myself of those things. And I'm like, no, I don't want to teach to a stupid screen. Not that you guys are stupid. I just, miss being in person with you all. All right, let's come to a comfortable seated position. Let's start to feel our Ujjayi breath. So that's breathing in and out through your nose. Sort of a silent hum, a little heavier quality to the exhale than the inhale. And if that's feeling hard to access, then do a few breaths where you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth like you're trying to fog up a mirror. Okay, so kind of feeling what your throat does to give that, to change the exhale in that way. And then you just try and keep keep the mouth closed. So even if you've done Ujjayi breath a million times, that can be a nice thing to do, just to feel the sensation, the quality that we are going for. We don't want the exhale to feel any more forced than the inhale. Or really, we don't want either one forced at all. Soften the forehead. Soften your jaw. And take a slight lift to your chest as we're sitting here. So not with any strain or force, but just to kind of feel like you're owning your body space a little more. And let your eyes slowly open. All right, so we are coming into a tabletop on our hands and knees. And if you are following along on the playlist, let's hit play in 3, 2, 1, tap. Or if you've got your own music you'd like to play, of course, feel free. All right, so set up your tabletop. Let's move through some cat and cow, breathing in, belly down. Exhale, dome the back up. Alternate between those two shapes at your own deliberate pace. All right, and then let yourself fidget with intention here in your all fours. If you take this into some side bends, circles in your shoulders, your hips. Checking in with this Sunday morning body. Good. And I encourage you to say yes to whatever feeling sensations are coming up. Not necessarily yes in like, that's amazing or that's awesome, but yes in like, I hear you. Yes, that feels like that there. I'm feeling this emotion now. Just a yes of acceptance to anything that's coming up, any feelings. Let's sit back on our heels in child's pose. You can widen those knees if you like. And come back up to your tabletop. All right. So now I want you to press your fingertips into the mat until that starts to bring the shoulders forwards a little more. Good. And then press the fingertips down to send the shoulders back. So little shoulder glide, front and back. But I want you to feel like the fingertips are deciding when and how far forward those shoulders move. Good. And if that makes you think, holy forearms, Batman, you are doing it right. And activating some very, very useful forearm wrist muscles. Good. Okay, let's come onto our knees for a second, just to get off of those wrists for a sec. Maybe interlace the fingers and roll them around, figure 8 style. Yeah, I can feel pretty intense on those forearms. Fortunately, we don't need to work quite that hard necessarily whenever we have weight on our hands, but it's good to think of the, support for those hands coming from up in the forearms. Okay, so come back to your tabletop. All right, slide your left foot, right? Actually, no, move the right foot first. So right knee stays where it is. The right foot pivots off the mat. Let me turn my right side to you so you can see that. Okay, tuck your untucked toes here with your right foot is totally up to you. Slide the left foot to the back of the mat and reach the left arm up to the sky. That's coming to a supported side balance here. All right, and now arc that left arm over your head. Find a side stretch. Good. And now as you lift the left arm up, lift the left leg. And hover it up. Good. And then drop the limbs over, side bend. Lengthen and lift. Let's do that 3 more times. Foot down, side bend. Lengthen and lift. Good. And down. And lift.
And one more time, down and lift. Good. Come back to tabletop. All right, now left foot steps off the mat. The right foot slides back. Right arm reaches up. Good. Right, so add to that arc by bringing that right arm up over your head. So kind of drooping towards the floor here, weeping willow style. All right, and then lift the right arm and right leg into that balance. Good. And foot down, arm over, side bend. Lengthen and lift. And 3 more times. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Good, and one more time. Lower and lift. Nice. All right, let's come back to all fours and tuck the toes under, lift up to downward dog. Good. And again, just kind of playing with this downward dog. Any way that feels good, any movement that feels like it will help future downward dogs in today's practice and practices beyond. Lately, I've been liking stepping my feet wide and swaying side to side. Kind of like the stretch in the outer hip that gives me as I scoot over. So just kind of explore for you what's feeling like a useful fidget in this moment. Good. All right, and then let's step. Come back to your regular downward dog. Okay. Shift forward to a high plank. Good. And lower down to your elbows to a forearm plank. And so elbows right under those shoulders. Good. You can have the knees down if you need some more support for your low back. Belly's firm. Take a little forwards and back here. Some work into those shoulders. Good. All right, then let's step that back up to straight arms. Whatcha? And slowly lower down to the belly. Slight shift forwards. Bend those arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're down. Good. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. And one more time, lift. And lower. Let's press back to child's pose for one breath. So sit back and take an inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift up to downward dog. Exhale, heavy heels. And walk or hop your feet forwards. Forward fold here at the front of your mat. And then inhale, come up to a long flat back. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to lengthen, then stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, let's take 2 basic sun salutations. Surya Namaskar Air. A, oh my goodness, I'm making up words. Surya Namaskar A 2 times. All right, inhale, the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to arch up. Cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Let's take a few breaths here. Fingers evenly spread. Upper arms firm. Heels heavy. Quads firm. Walk or hop your feet forwards. Inhale, lengthen the spine forwards, half lift. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to lengthen, then stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more time, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to arch up. Exhale, downward dog. I think pretty much everyone tuning in knows, but I always like to make sure you can always skip that part at any time and just go right back to downward dog. Please throw in a child's pose or any rest moment to your practice whenever that's right for you. All right, from that downward dog, lift the right leg up behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Now you're going to keep the shoulders over your wrists. Just set your right knee down on your mat. Okay? And then with an exhale, squeeze it back up to your chest. Belly drawn in. Okay, and then lower the knee down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, set the shin down. Crown of head forward. 1 more time. Exhale, squeeze it up. Nice. And lower that down. Good. And now let's lift that right leg on up and back to a 3-legged dog. So right leg is up again. Lift that right hip even more. Bend the right knee. Nice. As you're really trying to lift that right outer hip, can that right outer shoulder drop down towards the mat a little more? All right. And then straighten that right leg up. Step the right foot as far forward as you can, between the hands if that happens. Lower your back heel down. Inhale to bring chest and arms up to Virabhadrasana 1. Nice. And if you need to lengthen your stance once the hands are off the floor, no problem. Good. Your alignment here is heel to heel, or even a bit wider than that. Okay, that's not a problem if that helps your body get steadier. Good. And lower the hands down, downward dog. Option to Vinyasa flow on your way. All right, then in your downward dog, lift the left leg up behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. So motion's a lot smaller than is when we would often just hinge on back to a 3-legged dog. So you're just going to set that left shin down, let the spine lengthen, and then exhale, squeeze the knee up. Knee to nose, nose to knee. Inhale, knee down, crown of head forwards. Exhale, knee to nose. 1 more time, lower the knee down. Exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze it up. Good. And then set the knee down for a moment. Kind of lengthen back to your long neutral spine. And then take that left leg up and back to a 3-legged dog. Open the hips, bend the knee. Now as that left hip flares up, so you can get a little downward motion of that left outer shoulder. Just gonna increase that length even a touch more on that left side. All right, and then step that left foot forwards. Heel spins down. Inhale to bring that upper body up to warrior 1. Good, taking a moment to, shift, wiggle, change up your stance as needed. Right, and bring the hands down to the mat. Downward dog, option to Vinyasa flow on your way. And from that downward dog, walk or hop your feet forwards. Forward fold, inhale, lengthen the spine forwards. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to lengthen, then stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to your hearts. All right, so I've done this for a few weeks. We're gonna do it today. So standing tall, that left leg is gonna lift up in front. And then it's gonna slowly lower down and start to lift behind. And you seesaw towards, maybe all the way to warrior three. Then we're gonna touch that down to lunge, back foot down, fingertips down. Back up to that warrior three. Good, and come upright and lift the left leg in front. And take it behind, seesaw forwards, touch down to lunge, back up to warrior three, and upright, leg in front. Good. So it's gonna end a little differently today than what we've done in the past. So warrior three, shut up cat, just tell us what to do. Down to lunge, back up to warrior three, but then back down to lunge. Boom, you're down. Good. So if that front knee is way past that front foot, scoochie scooch your back foot back till knee is over heel. Left hand stays down on the mat or a block. Let's take right arm, one big circle forwards, up, back, down, and then just forwards, up, and hold your simple twist. Press your right big toe mound into the floor. Good. Lengthen sternum away from left shoulder, right shoulder away from sternum. Good. And then can your right outer hip, or maybe think of this coming from the right sits bone, can that lengthen back towards your left heel? Good. Maybe straighten that back leg a little more. And as that back thigh lifts, can your hips get a little heavier to the floor? Wonderful. Let's bring that right arm down. Lower your back knee down. Chest and arms up, low lunge. And you're squeezing that left butt cheek to both encourage and stabilize the stretch in that left hip flexor. Good. Bring the hands down to the mat. Downward dog, option to Vinyasa flow on your way. And from your downward dog, walk or hop your feet forwards. Inhale, lengthen the spine forwards. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to lengthen, then stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, right leg on the move this time. My left leg needs a little, I believe in you, left leg. This is definitely my harder to balance leg. So if your standing leg needs that moment, give it that moment of love. All right, hinge the right leg up in front. All right, take it behind. Tipping, tipping, tipping to warrior three. And touching down to lunge. Good, push the floor away. Lift back up to warrior three. And stand upright. Lift the right leg in front. And take the leg behind. Tippity tip forwards. Touch down to lunge. Back up to warrior three. And come on up tall. Right leg lifts in front. Good, and last time. Two. Warrior three. Down to lunge. One more time up to warrior three. Just the warrior three. Wow, fire in the standing leg. Down to lunge. All right, you may not have landed in your ideal alignment, that's fine. Take a moment to kind of shift things around. Right hand down on the floor or a block. Left arm's gonna first reach forwards, then up, then back, then down, then just forwards and up, and hold the twist here. So making sure that front knee's over the front heel. And if that's out of alignment, usually moving your back foot is the easier way to fix that. Sternum lifting away from right shoulder, left shoulder away from sternum. Let's get a little more squeeze into that back leg. And as that back thigh's trying to lift, doesn't really go anywhere, but it's trying. Good, maybe those hips get a little heavier. Then keep rooting that left big toe mound into the floor. Just the motion of the twist often starts to peel that inside edge up. You want to keep rooting that down. All right, bring the left hand down, left foot back to downward dog, option to throw in a vinyasa flow. All right, lower your knees down. Let me show this before you're lying on your belly. So you're gonna be on your belly, hands stacked under your forehead, okay? And we're gonna do some chest lifts here. And the hands are going to lift with you, kind of floating carpet style. Okay, now let's come down onto our belly. All right, if you wanna plank your way down, you can. All right, so you're lying on your belly, hands stacked, and set your forehead on top of your hands. Good. So obviously the hands kind of have to meet the forehead because, yeah, placement of the hands has more flexibility than placement of your head. All right, your legs are going to stay down on the mat. I'm not saying they will want to stay down on the mat, but that's what we're going to tell them to do. So legs stay down, foreheads on hands. Good. So we're going to lift with an exhale. So take an inhale to prepare with everything down. Exhale, head, hands lift. Inhale, they lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, come down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, come down. Good, keep going with that for about 10 more seconds. Good. Okay, and then let that go. So you can either keep resting with the head on your hands or turn your head to one side. Good. Maybe you could cactus the arms or bring them back along your side. Just taking a rest moment here. All right, bring your head back to center, arms along your side. All right, so we're gonna do 5 of those lifts, this time with the arms reaching back, still with the legs down. After the 5th one, we'll lift our legs up and hover in our locust pose. So I want this to feel as easy, as low stress on the neck as having the hands under your forehead. So try and recreate that same alignment. All right, we're still gonna lift with an exhale. So an inhale to prepare, exhale to lift up. Inhale, come down. Exhale, lift. Try and keep it easy on the neck because the neck will not actually lift your upper back off the mat. It likes to think it does. Good, and last time lifting up. All right, keep the arms, the chest lifted. Lift the legs. Okay. If you want to clasp the hands, you can. Only use that if it improves your pose. It should improve, I'm making up words this morning. It should improve the ease of your breath and lift of your chest. If it does not, keep the hands unbound. Both are yoga. They get the same amount of yoga points. All right, let's lower down. Turn your head to the other side. If you did cactus, goalpost arms before, do that again here. And recenter the head. Hands in place to press you. Let's go back to child's pose just for a moment. And from child's pose up to downward dog. And walk or hop your feet forwards. From that forward fold, inhale, long, flat back. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to lengthen, then stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, so you're going to turn to face one side of your mat. So we have some warrior two triangle and such that we're moving into now. So if you have or want to use a prop for that, then grab your block or your block replacement. All right, so feet are as far apart on your mat as the length of one of your own legs. Turn the right toes out all the way, left toes in a little bit. Good. Set your block if you're using it. Let's stretch those arms out. Let's start in warrior two. And then flip that right palm. Reverse your warrior, side bending to your left. And then lean over to your right. First side angle pose, forearm on thigh. So we really keep length on our right side. And left arm lengthens and comes close to the face. All right, and then lift up a little off of that right forearm, or maybe entirely. Straighten the right leg and open that up to triangle. And so right hand down, left arm reaching to the ceiling. Good, quads are actively pulling the kneecaps up. All right, and then back to side angle pose. Good. Right knee bends again. Maybe your right hand is lower this time. Down on a prop or the floor. Good. Or you're still doing yoga. Get that forearms on top of the thigh again. So right sits bones pulling back towards the left heel. Back of that right knee is pulling forwards. Inhale, come back up to warrior two. All right, and we're gonna switch that around to our left side. So bring your prop if you're using one. Right toes turn in a little bit, left toes out all the way. Set your prop. Lengthen those arms out. Virabhadrasana 2, left knee bends. Turn the left palm up, reverse your warrior, side bending to your right. And then lean over to the left. First side angle pose. So keeping a lot of lift and length for this first one, even if you would normally go lower. All right, and then tiny lift of that left elbow off the thigh. The left leg straightens, arms extend, down and up, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Then the left knee back to Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. Maybe reaching lower with that left arm. Maybe it's the same shape as before. It's yoga either way. Inhale, come back up to warrior two. All right, we are switching back to our right side. Okay, this time it's gonna step into half moon. So, for me, that's requiring a little shift of the placement of my feet. Good. All right, so let's get a nice strong warrior two. Good, then bring left hand to left hip, right hand to the floor or a block. Step the left foot in, pour that weight onto your right leg. Right hand reaches out for the floor or your prop. Left leg lifts up to parallel to the floor-ish. Sometimes it's a bit higher. Good. And left arm can extend up. Good. And your gaze can be down or forwards or up at your left hand. If desired, you can add a thigh stretch, bending that left leg. Left hand reaching back for the left foot. You go for the thigh stretch. So notice, does it kind of feel more intense if you try and keep that left heel behind your left butt cheek? Or you're getting more by kind of letting it float up. For me, I don't like it as much, but I can feel that it's more useful for my body to keep that foot lower. So kind of more behind my left hip here, and then lengthening back from there. You can feel that's kind of a stretch my body doesn't really want to do. Oh, but it should. All right, find your way back to warrior two. All right, and we're gonna pivot that around. Maybe a little shuffle to give us space to do that half moon on the left side. All right, so starting a nice strong warrior two. Yeah, and imagine that this, one-legged balance is gonna feel just as strong and fierce as this. Maybe it won't quite, but we can dream. All right, bring that left hand down, right hand to the hip. Right foot steps in. Good. Block in hand or just hand goes out. Good. We feel like it'll be easier if we kind of keep ourselves closed in here. Ooh. Yeah. But we'll be able to keep both sides of our torso long. Look for stability through length. Gaze can be down, forwards, or up. Bend the right knee, or sorry, if you want that thigh stretch. By bending that knee, see if you find the foot. It could be a great challenge just to say, will I find my foot? So no need to put the pressure on yourself of, I must find my foot. Your foot's there, you know where it is. But since what feels maybe not the funnest, but the most useful, is it really floating that right hand and foot up? Or is it trying to take it more back behind you? And then let that go. Find your warrior two. All right, and then we're pivoting back over to our right side. We've got just a little more business over there. Okay, so just turn all the way around to facing that side of your mat now, into a high lunge. Bring that prop with you. Go ahead and hold it in your hands if you have a prop. Yeah. So otherwise, I should tell you what we're doing. You're going to come into warrior three and tilt that down to a standing split. So just in case you're wondering how much room do I need in front of me, you go ahead and just give that all away now. All right, so bring the arms up. Okay. So maybe holding that block. It's mainly just so it's there for you if you want it once we get down to that split. All right, so step that into warrior three. Nice. Palms can be at your chest or the arms can reach forwards. All right, and then lift that left leg a little higher. I'm not a great example of this morning, am I? A little higher. So the lifting of the leg drives that tipping forwards until the hands come down to the floor or a prop. All right, and then once you're in that standing split, try and roll that left inner thigh up a little more.